with reports of injuries coming out of AEW's latest pay-per-view and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for June 27th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Recalling her debut on NXT in 2014 where she defeated Summer Rae, Becky Lynch took to Twitter to write, 8 years ago, I had possibly the most shameful debut in NXT/WWE history. Today, I have accomplished nearly everything I could have ever dreamed of, and tonight, I will main event like I always do at WWE Hidalgo. Where you've been doesn't have to indicate where you'll go. With John Cena set to make his return to Raw tonight, WrestleVotes has reported that not just fans are excited for his comeback. Aside from the obvious business boost, I'm told the return of John Cena is as exciting for the locker room as it is for the fans. Cena is viewed as the ultimate leader, with his positive presence felt throughout the company when he's around. As Bryan Danielson was unable to compete against Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door, a replacement opponent debuted, with it turning out to be Claudio Castagnoli. At the post-show media scrum, the former WWE star had this to say about that. Sometimes, the stars align for a perfect moment. That's what happened tonight. I hope Bryan is alright. I know Bryan will be back. It's just a perfect fit. I just talked to Mox. We've been going back for 10 to 12 years. We've known each other for a long time. We used to ride together and work out together. We still do and still talk. It just fits. At the end of the day, I'm always looking for new challenges. Here in AEW, I'm like a kid in a candy store. At the same media scrum, AEW President Tony Khan touched on bringing the man previously known as Cesaro into the fold, saying, I asked him about coming in before I knew for sure that Bryan was out. Though I had a pretty good idea that Punk would be out, I could tell there would be a lot of changes. We already had a lot of injured people. I had no idea we would have even more on the run-up to the show. It was the day after the forum, so June 2nd, I called and had interest. There was definitely mutual interest. At that point, I felt there was a good chance. I wasn't sure if it would be here or another thing or Death Before Dishonor, July 23rd on pay-per-view in Massachusetts. Ring of Honor return event, I figured there was a chance that if Bryan made it back, there was a good chance that he would have started at Death Before Dishonor, and it would have been a great moment there. As long as Bryan is okay, that's the most important thing. It was a great moment to have at Forbidden Door. I talked to Bryan on the phone last weekend, and he told me that he wasn't feeling 100%. As soon as he said that, we're 8 days from the pay-per-view. If you're not feeling 100%, don't even think about wrestling on the pay-per-view or blood and guts, because he had been feeling well. I talked to him in St. Louis, and he was feeling great, and he was so optimistic and was that fired up Bryan Danielson. He wanted to go. I didn't want to take another chance as soon as he said he wasn't feeling 100%. He mentioned Claudio, and I said that's funny. I have Claudio under contract. I had told anybody. It worked out before for all of us. Khan would also note how well this event did, saying, the show was a big success. We had ticket sales of over $1.1 million. I think it will be within literally thousands, just behind Double or Nothing, but right there, both over $1.1 million live ticket sales. The pay-per-view, I said if we hit 100,000 worldwide buys, I would feel like it's a big success, and I feel very comfortable now, based on the early digital numbers, saying we did 100,000 buys and more. I feel great about that. Prior to Forbidden Door, it was rumored that Orange Cassidy would be getting new theme music, but he did not debut a new tune last night. Talk about this concept during the media scrum. There were like 100 people sitting in the stands at Daly's place when Amanda Hubert told us Brody was sick. I know there's a lot of new people here since then, but there were a lot of people here, and a lot of them are the same people even though there's a lot of new faces, and no one said a word. So when there's something life or death, I trust the people backstage. But I've learned around like a lot of stuff, it just leaks. It's like really shameful. Like people shouldn't be doing it, and that's one of those ones where it screwed up what would have been maybe a pop. The fact that it even came up was dumb. As I understand it, I have 97.5% of the rights in this case. It might as well be 0. I'm close. I've been told by the 2.5% holder that they're going to get back to us, and it seems like it's probably going to happen, but the fact that I'm even having to explain this is ridiculous, and it's because someone in the back shouldn't have said what they said. On Smackdown last week, Natalya came out to the ring impersonating Ronda Rousey with a baby stroller. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer noted this about the segment: "It's not what the writers would come up with. As soon as I saw it, I knew, okay, this is not from this writing team. This is not from Bruce Pritchard. I kind of was like, what is this? And I was thinking it could be a number of different people. It's Ronda. Ronda wants to do something out of the box, and she's doing something out of the box." During their tag team match where they became the IWGP Tag Team Champions, FTR's Dax Harwood could be seen with a taped up shoulder, as Dave Meltzer explained the reason behind this on Wrestling Observer Radio. "It was actually pretty brilliant to do an injury angle, with the shoulder, because there are so many injuries, so people could buy it very easily. Oh god, another injury, right? Especially because later in the show, there was another real injury. So I thought that doing that was really, really smart, plus I thought they did it really well, in the sense that when I saw it, I thought, oh god, not another injury. And then there were a few little signs where it was like, okay, it's probably a work." Now, as the match went on, when Cash kept going into the corner and tagging with nobody to tag, then it's like, okay, this is a storyline, he's coming back out. And he actually came out a little earlier than I expected, but I thought, it was a nice story for the match, and thought the match itself, I expected a really good match, and I thought it ended up being a great match. Despite being injured following his winning of the Owen Hart Cup, Adam Cole competed for the IWGP title at Forbidden Door, where he would be pinned by Jay White. Following the match, AEW medical staff can be seen tending to him. According to F4W Online, Cole is believed to have suffered a concussion during the bout, with further details not being given at this time. After successfully defending his IWGP title at Forbidden Door, Jay White commented on his future in the company during the media scrum. And this seems to be a pretty big if, but if we can have someone, when I successfully defend my IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, if we can have somebody to be prepared to put this up here for me, I'll feel a lot more inclined to come by. I'm very easily pleased, obviously. I don't ask a lot. It's just something like that. To answer your question, would I like to continue to stick around in AEW? I don't know. Will I? I don't know. Because this is how it works. I don't have to tell you anything. I don't have to give away anything. When you're the champion and the guy who single-handedly sells out arenas like Madison Square Garden and United Center, you can kind of do what you want and show up when you want. So stay tuned, I guess. Speaking about plans for Thunder Rosa following her successful defense of the AEW Women's title against Toni Storm, Dave Meltzer of The Observer said she is wrestling Miyu Yamashita, and I don't know 100%, but I've certainly been led to believe that they will have a match in Japan, and then they will have a rematch in the US for the championship, but we'll see how it plays out. She's definitely got the match in Japan on. I think it's July 7th. With Jeff Hardy recently being arrested for DUI and subsequently suspended from AEW, Road Dogg, who has a history of substance abuse as well, gave advice to the star on his podcast. People believe in second chances. America was built on second chances. WWE was dang sure built on second chances. And the fact is that Jeff deserves one. He's been living hard, and it's time to stop now. He has to be ready and willing to do whatever it takes to stop living that way. I didn't know living a different way was a possibility for me. I thought, and I say this all the time, I didn't care which handful of pills killed me, and I was wondering which one was going to do it and win. Living crazy like that, you don't have to live like that ever again, and it's okay. I hope he realizes that now, but it's not easy. It's not easy to get off that vicious merry-go-round, man. You've got to reach out, and somebody's got to pull you off, kind of. That's maybe where we're at right now. Praying for him for sure, first and foremost. I can't do anything for him but pray for him. Following his performance at Forbidden Door, Jon Moxley may have suffered a concussion at the event, as Dave Meltzer said. Moxley mentioned in a post-match interview, he was covered with blood, and he said he might have been concussed too, which hopefully that's not the case, because that's the last thing they need is another concussion, especially leading into Wednesday's Blood and Guts, because Moxley's obviously a key part of that match. Taking to Instagram, Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair revealed an interaction she had with a fan that frightened her, writing, "We drove 20 minutes from the venue sitting at a red light. A fan just ran up to the window, tapped on the window trying to take a picture. Scared us. I love my fans, but do not follow me from the venue. Do not run up to my car window while I'm sitting at the red light at 11 p.m. tapping on the window. It's not safe for me, it's not safe for you. I try my best to stay around and sign as many autographs and take as many photos as I can. It may seem harmless and all in front of you, but that wasn't right or fair. I was legit scared. Boundaries." Speaking to NBC Sports Boston, Kurt Angle revealed that AEW offered him multiple contracts and explained why he turned them down. "They actually wanted me to wrestle in particular. Tony Khan gave me a call, wanted me to wrestle. They offered me a pretty good deal, but I just can't do it anymore. I wish I could, but it's just not possible. They did offer me 2 different times, and they did want me to do an on-camera personality as well, or a non-wrestling role. I actually turned that down as well. I just wanted to start up my supplement company, so I wanted to put more time into that. So I didn't want to leave the company at this particular time, so I decided not to do it. They wanted me to have big special matches. They gave me a contract for 10 matches, but they didn't say how long it would be, so it might not have been just for a year. It might have been for 3 years, and I would have wrestled 3 matches a year, but I decided not to do it because of my supplement company, and the fact that I'm not the same as I used to be. If I'm gonna go in there and wrestle, I want to be the old Kurt Angle, and I know I can't be that anymore." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.